I've been wanting to do this video for a while now. Basically, I've got back into 3D printing, and let's be fair, I've had some disasters. Now, for those of you in the 3D community, you'll be aware of this. I think this one's called the bird's nest. Okay, so, but there's also other problems in here, which I'll show you this one actually, because this is something that I'm working on right now. So, I'm working on a wee bracket. This was the prototype. Okay, so basically it's just it's an angled bracket, and here is the final piece. Okay, I'll go into what it's for in a second, but here's the kind of issues I've been having. So as you can see, it started off fine. That's that bit there, okay? So it started off fine, but for some reason or other, it gloops up and fucking gets caught, and then it bends, and all this white here was one of these, and it actually started. It was a fair wee height, but as you can see, like there's kind of where it failed for a sticking reason. That's probably the best way to put it, right? I've also went to do a darts holder. Now the darts holders they're great wee things, okay? They're for holding darts. Now, I've done a few of them. Some have been better than others. Look, now here's the problem. So, there's a wee flatbed there, right? That's the back of it, okay? And then the two holes here, that's for screwing it against the wall, and then your darts sit into it, okay? Here's what it should have turned out like. It should have looked like that, okay? So, that sits against the wall like so. You pop your darts in the big holes, and then they've got wee holes on the bottom. This is actually easy, a 9.5 out of 10 print. There's wee bits of stringing in there. I'm not sure if you can see it or not, but there's been hardly any clean up on this, right? But this got caught in the corner, and look at that. That big square you're seeing, that is actually the wee nipple thing. So that's what the element comes out of, this wee thing here. Well, when I say element, it's actually filament, it's PLA print with, right? But that, as you can see, got stuck in there. Oh. So as that's all hot, it's all good up, and all it's done is it's just dragged it about the shop. Lo and behold, another failed print, okay? Yet, I've managed to get from that to that, okay? And here was last night's after I thought I'd solved the problem, right? That is actually meant to be that. So you can clearly see that that's the base on that side, and then again, look, there's the goop. I don't know why, I went to check it to make sure everything was okay, and there it is, it's got stuck. So why is this happening? Well, personally, my finding is, I've found out that I have a problem with a thing called stringing, right? So, now for those of you who actually do 3D printing, will know what I'm on about. And all I know is that the way around the stringing is to deal with heat which comes from the nozzle. So this is to be a specific heat for the PLA to drip through, and then heat on the printing bed, which is for the adhesion. So here's another thing I've done. Basically, this is meant to be a holder for my gun, for my drill gun thing, right? But if you look closely, so you see the gaps in that. So what I tried to do with this is, this was going to be a 20-hour print to get it to this smoothness, okay? So I thought, I'm going to put it right to course, which brought it down to a 4-hour print. And there's what the 4-hour print does. Can you hear that noise? Right behind the base here, actually that was a wee bit of PLA that was stuck in with that. I really wasn't caring because it was a test print. So it just shows you how I've cleaned out V1, and I've went from orange when it was printing this to grey to print this. And after I printed this, I printed this. These are for my Ryobi guns, so basically that screws up to the bench and then the gun just slots into that. That's all that's got. Okay, so how have I got through this? Well, a wee bit of research is isopropyl alcohol. Now isopropyl alcohol is basically alcohol. It's no drinking alcohol, it's a cleaning alcohol. Gets used in quite... I actually bought this for a fix or fail. I tried to do an electronics thing. Like the rest of my channel, it never took off. It failed. But I was... artificial intelligence is great. I was using Grok, and I was in a conversation with Grok. This thing, that's actually, these AI things, the chatbots are, or whatever, they're very, very good on how to explain things to you and whatever. And one of the things that Grok said to me was that I asked a question about printing temperatures, and it says that PLA should be anything from 190 to 215, I think it was, and between 60 and 75, I think it was, for the bed. So my bed's actually just heating up to 55, and I thought, oh, right, okay. And my PLA, that's sitting at 215. So the PLA's hot enough, but the bed isn't, so I thought I needed to pull that up. And hence the reason, that's where this kind of failure was coming. You can see the curvature at the end, it just wasn't sticking right. So Grok also suggested isopropyl alcohol, right? Clean the bed with that, to which I did, and, well, that was where this one come in, and if you look at the back of that, that print is fantastic. I'm well impressed with that. But here's my project that I'm doing now. So I went from, as you can see, there's certain bits of bleeding coming inside of that one. This was one of the first ones, and there's certain bleeding come through on that. But the last two have been a success, right? I'll show you what I've built doing these for. These are actually, these for a job I was meant to do 2 years ago to finish off the bathroom. I tried to get an edge and, well, ended up, I've made my own one. So that's what this is for. That was the wee template to start it off. So I'll now show you one of these in progress. There you go. So the bed's been cleared off with isopropyl alcohol. Just had a wee wipe down with that, and it dries up very quickly. And as you can see, look at that. No stringing at all. The bases went down. That's going to be yet another good print. Now, here's the wall I'm working on in the bathroom, and that's what these caps are for. And I'll just show you how quickly this works. So what I'll do is put a lot of that. I'll put the crappy ones to the bottom. I'll put the bleed to the outside. And there you go. Just like that, I've got a finish. Now it's fair to say that that's not a perfect finish, okay? But as you come up the wall and you see that, what a difference that makes. And that is going to go right the way up and finish up to the roof. So there you have it. Now the last thing to show you is as well, another one of the reasons I was having was these are 0.4mm wee nuggets. That's what goes into the printer. You screw them in the head in, they're sitting that way, and then, well, basically it just squirts a wee line of stuff as you seen as it was printing there. Okay, so that's one of the ones I had a problem with. Here is a brand new one, and there's the difference in them. Oh, that's the difference in them. I'll put it the right way around actually, because it would help. Look at that. So as you can see, look, and that's what happens when it gets clogged up, and that's what it should look like. So what happens is when they do clog up, then that's when you get this goop kind of thing. So basically that's my top tips. If you're having problems with your extruder and it's all clogging in like this and you're not getting very good prints, check your temperatures. Make sure you've got loads of these things, because I go through a load. And one thing I know that I am missing, that there should be a wee silicone cover over this. Mine tore years ago, my printer's old, and I can't get another one. So hey, if you do have a G-Tech A20 printer out there with a spare silicone head, I'd appreciate it. Give us a shout and I'll buy it for you. So, I hope you get some good prints out of this. I hope this has actually helped you as well. So, and I hope you do like and enjoy these type of videos. What I would also like to see before you go, if you are still here, why do you not put someone down in the comments below? Because I am looking for suggestions to make shorts on 3D printing. Your suggestion might be the next one that you see. Thanks for digging in. Till the next time, I'll see you.